upgraded M-Corp Cash today and try it out.
Guys, mtapatikana hewani.
Karibu tena, asante sana kwa kuendelea kuwa nasi hapa kwenye Citizen Debate. Leo tukiwa tunaangazia eneo bunge la Lang'ata, na kabla ya kwenda mapumzikoni tulikuwa tunazungumzia swala la maji. Wagombeaji wawili wamebakia ili kuweza kutueleza suluhisho la maji katika eneo bunge la Lang'ata ni ipi, na tulikuwa kwa Nickson Korir ambaye ni mbunge wa sasa. Kuna ujumbe hapa kutoka kwa Matthews Ondoro, anasema I am a resident in Lang'ata ever since 1989 and these guys needed to involve the residents, investors and stakeholders for a solution. Je, katika huu muda wa miaka 5 ambao umehudumu kama mbunge, umewahusisha wenyeji mkakaa chini nao wakaeleza labda kwa wao suluhisho ni lipi?
Asante sana. First I want to say boreholes is a very, very short-term solution to the water problem in Lang'ata. And for information, Wahiga, I have done so many boreholes from Bangladesh to NHC to Kijiji Southlands, Kongoni, Nairobi West Prison, Undugu, Silanga. But that's a very short-term solution. And in fact, as it stands right now, Warma has banned digging of more boreholes in Nairobi because the water levels are going down and the contamination level is going up. So digging boreholes as it is right now is out of solution. We are halfway in solving the water problem in Nairobi entirely because, as I said before, the water source has been a problem. The water infrastructure that is in Nairobi was built in the 70s and 80s. The water volumes, Nairobi water is 30 years behind in terms of planning. And this water issue is actually a devolved function. As a member of parliament, my work is to lobby for the relevant institution to take action. Luckily, the Northern Collector Tunnel is coming to solve the 85% of the problem that we have. Currently, our water comes from Ndakaini to Gigiri. It is diesel pumped to Apakabete. Then from Apakabete, it comes through gravity to Lang'ata. But right now, through the Northern Collector Tunnel infrastructure, the water will be pumped to Apakabete. They are building another water reservoir in Uthiru, which is 80%, 90% done. A pipe that passes through Uthiru, Dagoretti Corner, Karen, is actually past Karen it goes all the way to Rongai.
And your time is up.
Second pipe.
I'll add you 10 seconds, just finish up.
The second pipe is coming through now Kibra to NHC, it goes all the way to Ole Sereni and it goes to Mpakasi. That is a long-term solution that will bring the water solution to Lang'ata, and it is going to be completed. And
I'll stop you there to allow Suzan. Suzan, the current MP says, without that, we're not going to get anywhere. Do you have any further thoughts on this?
I beg to differ on issues of borehole drilling, because I've been in Lang'ata. I've seen boreholes that were sunk in a place like NHC that are stalled. So many of these boreholes are stalled projects that need to be equipped, like Aboki has said, management. There is a lack of management. The boreholes do exist. We cannot say they do not exist, but most of them are stalled. Then I think another solution, apart from all the other solutions that most of the candidates here are giving, is we have the Nairobi Dam right in the heart of Lang'ata. In as much as that is not the role of an MP to ensure, to look into that, as a member of parliament, it is a legislative duty, or we are able to exercise the role of oversight to the county government to hold agencies like NEMA accountable as to why a project like the Nairobi Dam has now become something that, a project that was not, like, it is now becoming an encroachment where people now are beginning to live. The water hyacinth is so much over there. It has become a sewer system. So we need to involve more stakeholders, hold people accountable, people like NEMA, like I've said, and that is the duty of a member of parliament, exercising the role of oversight and bringing such parties to accountability. That way I believe we are able to solve such a problem.
Asante sana Suzan, makipe umetueleza majukumu ya mbunge ni yapi. Na tukisalia katika hilo swala la majukumu ya mbunge, nataka tuzungumzie masuala ya unyakuzi wa ardhi katika eneo bunge la Lang'ata. Na mojawapo ya maswali ambayo yalitumwa kutoka kwa kikao cha wenyekiti katika eneo bunge la Lang'ata ni kuhusiana na ni vipi ambavyo wagombeaji watalinda maeneo ambayo ni ya umma, haswa ardhi. Tuanze na wewe, ni Caroline Jepkemboi. Tueleze, utalinda vipi ardhi ya umma katika eneo bunge la Lang'ata?
Utalinda ardhi la Ribita.
Ukiangazia majukumu yako kama mbunge,
Yes.
Utalinda vipi ardhi ya umma katika eneo bunge la Lang'ata?
But kama kuna ardhi na ni public, right? Si inafaa ilindwe. Si hata si inafaa nione ni ilinde. So I'm trying to understand your question.
How will you protect green open spaces as the MP for Lang'ata?
How am I going to protect it?
Yes, wakikupea hiyo kazi.
If they vote me in, they'll make sure their open places are protected. Maybe I'll put it like that.
In what way?
What do you mean in what way?
Kwa sababu majukumu ya mbunge ni matatu: kuunda sheria, oversight,
yes.
Na nini kingine?
Na
representation.
Yes.
Sasa tuambie, ukiangazia hayo majukumu matatu,
yes,
utalinda vipi ardhi ya umma katika eneo bunge la Lang'ata?
But ardhi inafaa nitailinda.
Labda tusonge mbele kwa Tom.
Yes.
Tom, swali hilo.
Yeah, Mashirima, I think what I'm going to say is we need to put things in place. And one of the ways to put things in place, public areas are always attacked by people who want to do real estate development. Nobody takes it to make a swimming pool, but they have to go back to the county government for approval plans for their housing. Now, I think that is one way we're going to ensure that with the estate association, which is within that jurisdiction, that when you do a search for that public land, even them, a signal or a way is set that you have to go to them, either through them knowing that somebody is doing a search on this piece of land, or an approval is given before your approval of plans is allowed at the county level. That is one. Number two, we must map out these areas, because like my sister here was saying, the mapping out is there, but the thing is we need to know if there are locations, if titles have been given, and we have to go to the old maps which were there. That is the only way we're going to solve this problem. And then the other thing we're going to do, if I get to Parliament, which I believe I will, we have to legislate and make sure it is very punitive, that if you're found taking land which does not belong to you and belongs to the public, then the sentence must be a deterrent one to stop all this. Then we will not have these issues.
Asante sana.
Thank you very much for that. Let me allow Felix Odiwour to also weigh in on this. Felix, we are told that land grabbing in Lang'ata would not happen without collusion from certain groups. Some residents have cited and are concerned about maybe the involvement of the National Land Commission, NLC, maybe the county government, maybe NMS. Some even say maybe even the judiciary is complicit in all this. What would you do under the roles and functions provided to you should you become the next MP to protect public land in Lang'ata?
I'll give it the oversight role and make sure that all our green areas are titled so that there's ownership of that place. I can give a good example. Ngei 2. A month ago, I was with the residents. There where somebody is trying to grab the playground that has been there for the longest time. And they just decided that this is their land. They're doing that because they believe that there are no titles in that place. So the first thing is to make sure that all our green areas are titled. So under the associations of the different estates, that we are having, like Ngei 2 have an association, and I was with the chairman and we and the residents, and we talked about having that place titled. Titling every single place is the best thing. When you go to Wilson, where the garages are, it is under threat even as we speak today. And I am in court, having gone there with the governor and even NMS to make sure that they stay there, because they were allocated that piece of land. Just because it doesn't have a title, they believe that that is some freehold, some free land that they should bring. But then again, we must be very candid here. The current member of parliament has been accused of grabbing land. And this is something that is in the public, where he was part of a team that was at Uhuru Gardens, where he was running his premise there. And they had to bring it back to them. And we have also to be loud as Langata residents.
Your time is up.
No, just give me a minute, sir.
No, no, no.
Okay.
I'm going to give you 10 seconds.
All right.
10 seconds.
We also must be very loud about these land grabbers, because some of them are people we know.
Okay.
In Langata
Thank you. Now you're taking us to a different path. So I'll stop you there. We'll see if we get a chance to come back. Allow me to skip, because he's referenced Nickson Korir. I must allow you a right of reply. And your response to this challenge of land grabbing in Langata?
Land grabbing is facilitated by institutions. As you indicated before, the solution to land grabbing is ensuring that we identify this public land. As it is right now, government is titling schools, police stations, because initially the schools and police stations did not have titles. So as a way of solving this problem and deterring any land grabber in future is titling. As you know, most of the public lands in towns like Nairobi were under the city council. And when the city council now changed to the county governments, there's a lot of gray area in which land belongs to where. And that's why now the National Land Commission is undertaking that process of titling this land. We've had cases in Langata of attempted land grabbing, like, for example, next to Dorothy's Bind Phenom Park, there was a developer wanted to grab that land. It's part of the former railway and KWS land, and we stopped. I went to court. There's attempted grabbing in Gay 2, in fact 2 years ago. I stopped it. There was attempted land grabbing just behind my office at the garages, which we stopped. Attempted land grabbing of a playground in Akiba 100, which is now in court. It sounds like a pandemic
of land grabbing. Do you want to take your remaining time to respond to what you said?
And most of this land grabbing, you will find that the people coming to demolish or forcefully want to take over the lands is actually facilitated by NMS. You'll find that the lorries from the NMS, you'll find the askaris from the NMS are there. On the issue of what my friend
now I'll have to ask you, so that's a very serious allegation against NMS. Have you reported?
I have actually, 2 months ago, there is attempted land grabbing of Akila police station, which I have written a letter to National Lands Commission, copied to the PS Interior in regards to that, and I've written to Anti-Corruption Commission. I'm waiting a reply from them. There's an attempted land grabbing of a public works land just behind, next to Carnival. There's a public land, it's a public works under Kura, but it's been subdivided and an estate is coming up. I've written to National Land Commission. I'm awaiting a reply to that. On the allegations by my friend Jalango,
in your remaining seconds, go ahead.
Yeah, those are just jokes and just bloggers' business. We are not here to discuss bloggers' business. I don't have any case in court. There is no accusation. It's just a campaign strategy.
It's not a campaign strategy.
Okay.
I would easily tell him.
We have to stop you there to give the others time. Osman.
He doesn't have any facts.
No.
It means I'll gag you in the next round and you won't speak. So I'll come back to you. Let me allow Osman to speak. Osman, please, go ahead.
First and foremost, the question is, and my question is for the MP, Mr. Nickson Korir. Do you have a land register in Langata for the public land register?
Maybe just to educate you, land falls under the county government. And a member of parliament doesn't keep a register of land. It is kept by the county government. Yes.
Thank you.
So as Nickson is saying, he has helped to stop land grabbing in other areas. But then we don't have a register to show what is what. The question is also in terms of the land that is being grabbed in Langata, the approvals will come from where? From the county. The approvals will come from the county, but also somebody needs to have a title, which will come from the Ministry of Lands. So it easily shows that there's collusion. We have so many cases in Langata, and these are issues to do with public spaces like in South Sea. You have areas where we used to, when we were young and we used to play football, that have been grabbed. The lands are gone. Somebody has built a school. You have other areas like Akiba, which is also and Wangari grounds have also been grabbed. But I beg to differ with Nickson Korir, because as the MP, he has not highlighted such issues before. He is just talking about it today.
Na wewe Osman, kwa sababu unataka kuwa mbunge wa Lang'ata, utafanya nini kuhakikisha kwamba hili tatizo halichipuki?
Kama mbunge, kwanza kitu ya kwanza nitaanza naye ni kupublish register ya ardhi, kwa sababu kama utasema unakuwa na oversight na hauwezi kuonesha watu ya kwamba hii ndo ardhi ya umma, itakuwa unafanya kazi bure. So lazima uweze kupublish na uweze kuidentify kama kazi yako. Ukisha publish na umeidentify ndo unaweza kusema ya kwamba tukue na kama Lang'ata watch ya ardhi. Ni muhimu sana hiyo.
Naam.
Naam.
Cliff, kwa upande wako unadhani ni nini ambacho unaweza kufanya kama mbunge wa Lang'ata kusuluhisha hili tatizo la unyakuzi wa ardhi?
I'm flabbergasted, for lack of a better word, about what he has actually mentioned that is happening in Lang'ata. So, first and foremost, let us get people who are honest in whatever they're doing, because all these things are happening under their noses and they are actually colluding with these people.
Flabbergasted because you had no idea it was happening?
No, I am actually flabbergasted that this can be mentioned, and he has been there, and I've just had him mention it today.
To say attempted land
Yes,
grabbing?
to say like there are guys who are grabbing land, or there is land that is attempted
yes.
to be grabbed
and
or
we
something.
stopped.
Yes?
You can be flabbergasted for that.
No, I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised.
Okay.
And this is why. Because he's talking about it as if it is something that has just happened yesterday. You've been there.
Mm-hmm.
You needed to have had all this published or just made transparent so that people know this is private, this is public. So whoever comes here, kindly, let us not allow it to happen.
Una sekunde 15, wewe utafanya nini?
Now, for me, it is make it transparent. Make it public to everyone to see. And that is why I'm agreeing with Aden. Make everything public for accountability purposes and transparency purposes. That is key.
No.
And then work with the Minister of Lands, work with National Lands Commission, and also the National Registration, Lands Registration.
Okay.
No.
Yes.
And I'll stop you there. In the remaining 1 minute, 30 seconds, let me allow Suzan to also weigh in on this and just help us understand. You told us you're a resident of Lang'ata. How bad is the situation? What solutions will you provide should you be their next MP?
The situation concerning land grabbing is a cancer, not just in Lang'ata, but I believe across most parts of the country. So number one solution is titling of these public spaces. Most of them have not been titled. As the incumbent has said, schools, hospitals, and all these public spaces are still in the process of being titled. So that is one of the things I can champion for all these public spaces to be titled. And number two, as Aden and Aboki have said, is to ensure transparency and publication of these public spaces. When people are aware that this is land that belongs to this particular community or belongs to this particular school, they are not in a position to meander around or try to encroach or try to do funny business on it. So transparency is something that I'm able to bring on board, but that is something that cannot be achieved alone, because these people that come to grab land in Lang'ata, they are coming with permits that have been granted by the county governments, by the Ministry of Lands. So if I'm able to champion for, let's say, even an overhaul, because there is so much rot in the Ministry of Lands, maybe in the county, the people who are handling the land issues, there is a lot of rot. So if we are able to champion for an overhaul of the staff and all that,
okay,
maybe we can have a standing ground to begin the change from.
Okay, and that's where we'll stop because we need to take another short break. When we come back, we see whether we will delve on one or two matters that affect the people of Lang'ata constituency this evening. Remember, Lang'ata stretches from South Sea to Nairobi West, high-rise, Karen as well, over 100,000 registered voters, actually a population close to, what, about 200,000, and this is the Lang'ata that we're talking about today. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we carry on with this discussion, and keep sending us your feedback, #CitizenDebate, SMS line 22422. We'll be right back.